Now, some of you might have never even heard of Assassin's Creed Liberations, and let me tell you, this game was not as bad as what people make it out to be. This game is essentially a spin-off of Assassin's Creed 3, which was only released for the PlayStation Vita, and then in 2019 it got a remaster alongside Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Now, this was released on all consoles, as far as I'm aware, and it's not a bad game. Hear me out, just hear me out. This game only took around 12 hours to complete. It wasn't difficult at all, and it was just a spin-off game. I can't really find a reason to hate it. Was it amazing? No. Was it bad? Also no. But for 12 hours of gameplay, I didn't feel like my time was wasted at all. But let's get into this. This game is a little different to the others, as we are playing a product built by Asturgo this time, and this is where we play as a woman called Aveline, who is the first woman that we play as in the Assassin's Creed franchise. We meet Aveline as a child, and as a child, she runs away from her mother, chasing the fastest chicken I've ever seen in my life, before the chicken gets absolutely yeeted by a guard. We see Aveline look at the slaves with disgust, even as a child, and you can see in her heritage that she will make it part of her story to free her people, and this is going to be a pinnacle point of the storyline of this game. However, by doing all of this, she loses her mother. A time jump later, and we are introduced to the combat in this game, which is exactly the same as AC3, which felt really good as I just completed that game. So go watch that video if you haven't already. That was an absolute nightmare. And then after killing these guys, I see the absolute creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life on an Assassin's Creed game. What the fuck is that? Luckily, it was all a dream, and we wake up with her new mother watching over her, and then Aveline puts on her assassin's robe, which I absolutely love the design of, before we get into the actual game. After barely any playing in the game, we immediately hit our title screen, but before we get to see that, don't forget to like the video. This is such an underrated title screen, I love it. Now, finally playing the game, we are introduced to the dressing rooms where Aveline can change her personas, one obviously being the assassin, where she has a full range of movement, weapons, and constantly has 1 bar of notoriety. The second one being the slave persona, where she has limited weapons but still full mobility so she can free run. And then finally the lady persona, where she has very limited weapons and cannot free run at all. However, she has a charm ability where she can charm guards with her beauty, and you'll see this in later action. The first mission, I had to grab some boxes, gather some information from some slaves, and then climb the top of the plantation, and we get our second viewpoint before investigating the barn. Now, in this barn, we free a slave and trouble comes with it, and a fight begins, but I make quick work of them and beat their ass quite easily. Aveline makes her way back home in her lady persona this time, and we meet her stepmom, Madeline, where they have a little bit of an argument about Aveline freeing the slave, but then we get sent on a mission to get some clothes for this slave before once again coming back to the house, and then her stepmom reassures Aveline that the free slave will then be safe. Now we meet a new character here called Gerald, which we're eavesdropping on. He is like our brother in this story, and we'll certainly see more of him later on. We tail him, of course, like every other Assassin's Creed game, and then we eavesdrop another meeting where we find out we need to infiltrate a ship and steal the captain's book. This is almost like a tutorial mission, as the charm ability comes into play with the lady persona in order to complete this mission. Upon completion, I aim for the full sync, as there is an achievement later down the line for a full sync in every single story mission. Just wanted to add, I'm currently on memory 6 of sequence 1, so this goes to show how short and sweet these missions are. Now, we use some eagle vision to find some clues, charm a guard because feminism and all that, find some more clues and report to this fatty. See? They really are that fast. Liaising with Gerald and my stepfather, I get sent on a mission to buy a dressing chamber, which is where you change your persona from the lady, slave, and assassin, and we can purchase these throughout the map, which is great. And also, this gives us our first achievement, so well done. Oh, I got an achievement. What's that? My first dressing chamber. Oh, cool. So I guess you buy these around the map, and then you can change your personas. Nice. And then I tell this butler to a mansion and pickpocket him, and this ends the mission. Right, okay, I will admit this is getting a little boring. Let's speed things up. This mission was actually quite fun and felt rather stealthy. However, I made light work of the guards just to get to the governor. They decided to send some men on me, and let me tell you, with this girl power in my hands, absolutely smoke these fools. Then, with all of the heat on me after killing the governor, I make my way out of the city gates, and the game introduced me to the chain kill ability, which is really, really cool. However, I never used it. And then that's full sync, giving us another achievement. Beautiful. Oh, damn. Jesus. I got bodied. Hey, let's go. Sequence 1. Completed. I need to go back and redo a memory, but let's go. This is not that bad. Not that bad. Now, we set off to the bayou, which is basically just a big swamp that was horrible to traverse. However, it did give me a very random achievement, basically as soon as I got there. What did I just do? 10 branches, but... Right, okay, yep, I'm taking it for achievement. Jesus Christ. Now, we meet this guy called Agate, I believe his name is, who is kind of like Aveline's version of Achilles from Assassin's Creed 3, which becomes a mentor for Aveline, and it's just exactly the same. And then, exactly the same as AC3, we have a little training arc. On my way to the next mission, I spat on this guy and got an achievement for it. Oh, nice. An achievement. I just saw it, I wanted to test it out. He did. Dead as hell. Then we snipe some fools, liberate this camp, and then we meet some side characters, which we go on a few missions with them throughout the game, and you're gonna see more of them. Taking advantage of this next mission, since there are a bunch of people to kill, I decided to use this butter knife machete, which sucked, and got an achievement for it. Give me that achievement, baby. I knew that was coming. That was such an easy achievement. Let's go. Then we steal some loot from a chest and head back to the smugglers camp. After obtaining that loot, we get sent off on a task of killing this tribe leader before getting introduced to these new things called Citizen E. They're like added memories that give a little bit more detail to the story. I didn't really pay much attention. I think it just gives you like a potential different ending, which is an achievement later in the game. Then wrapping up sequence 2, we meet back with Baldy, our little mentor, and we get an achievement for it. Let's go. Is that completed sequence 2? I was not expecting that at all. Now, back in New Orleans, we do some information gathering with the lady persona, so we get to use that a little bit more. Meeting back with Gerald, he shows us the new HQ where we can send off ships to make money, like the convoys in Assassin's Creed 3. This led to quite a few achievements later in the game, and then giving us a tour of the rest of the HQ before giving us this umbrella gun, which was actually kind of cool. We sniped some fools. Back into the bayou we go, and I sniped this dude, getting another achievement. Nice. Figured I might as well get that achievement done. I saw it on the list, so let's keep it moving. Then sniping some more fools, I infiltrate this fort and knee this guy in the balls with my woman power, and then free some slaves. In New Orleans, I start a riot before sniping some more fools. Wait, am I playing Assassin's Creed or Sniper Elite here? Either way, I steal a horse and cart, which felt like an Assassin's Creed 3 mission, and then fling that bitch into a building. The last mission of sequence 3 here is a big heist, which we do a setup of just a bunch of various tasks. And right before killing the guy in the cart, he gives us some information on the pendant that Aveline wears, and it indicates to knowledge of her mother. In before, we get a 4-year time jump moving into sequence 4. We leave New Orleans by sailing off to Mexico, Chichen Itza to be more specific, which I actually love this part of the map, and it was a shame that it was so small. Not long after arriving, we get a whip, which becomes a movement tool and my new favourite weapon. We find another citizen-y and then kill him. This was quite a short sequence as we're in the last part here going through the cave, and the mission felt like Tomb Raider and other games like that, with all of the caves and then these puzzles, which were kind of fun, a little bit annoying. And then we kill this guy who was probably quite important. However, the story was really lackluster, so I just killed him and then forgot about him. Anyway, on our way out of the cave, Aveline sees her mother. After all of this time, she finally meets her again, but it did not last long as we were both to escape the cave, and that just about wraps up sequence 4. What? Oh, sequence 4 complete. Time jumping 5 years into the future, we go back into New Orleans, and it wouldn't be an Assassin's Creed game without more tailing missions. During this mission, I took the opportunity to knock out this achievement along the way. Let's go. I knew that achievement was coming, but I honestly don't know any other way. Shit. I've been detected again. Then I killed some people with poison darts and they think it's voodoo. This mission honestly felt a bit pointless as I climbed a lighthouse undetected and that was it. But I guess that's what you get with a spin-off game. And then I killed some people with these side characters and that wraps up sequence 5. Sequence 6 is only one mission, but my god, this first part was infuriating trying to do this canoe section. If you want tips on this, just hold both of your triggers down and the canoe becomes so much more controllable and makes it so much easier. Anyways, we move through the cave, reaching a cool parkour section before having to do another puzzle like the previous cave. And then once again, Aveline meets her mother. And this concludes sequence 6. Let's go! Sequence 6 completed. That was actually a tough sequence. There was some bullshit optional objectives there. Jesus Christ. Sequence 7 is a short one here, but it starts off with Aveline's stepdad dying in bed, but she has to leave to go on a mission. The mission in question was defending a raft without using any ranged weapons for the full sync here. And I think my game glitched because my raft just didn't get damaged at all really, and all I had to do was stand on the edge and wait until the cutscene played. Rounding off sequence 7, we lure this guy to a private location before stabbing him, really abusing the male gaze here. Upon leaving the area, Aveline finds out her stepfather is now dead and she missed him die. And there was a funeral, which you're seeing now. Kicking off sequence 8 in New York, and then some of you can guess what's about to happen here. That's right, we meet Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. This mission was so cool as we got to meet both of them together, and then we also got to work together on a mission, and it just felt so cool to play and watch the dynamic between them both. During this mission, we infiltrate a fort looking for our enemy that we find in this tower, and then we proceed to beat his men, but this little fucker manages to sneak out the door. But not to worry, I jump out the watchtower and shoot this horse carriage looking really cool. But before he dies, he gives me some really important information on who the quote-unquote company man is. Aveline has been tracking down the company man throughout this whole game. But before we see them, I reunite back with Connor, and this concludes sequence 8. Nice. Oh, sequence 8 completed. That was actually a really good mission. I enjoyed that. Jumping back into New Orleans for the final sequence here, and this is where we find out who the company man is. And by no surprise, it's the stepmother, which I'm sure some of you guys would have figured out a mile off. Upon a very quick exit, we look for help from Agate back in the bayou, but he seeks to destroy us with the knowledge that we try and tell him. This mission was genuinely quite tricky to complete because we needed to do it all without getting hit, and it was just a nightmare. But he uses his voodoo magic to make us fight all of the important people in the game again, before we finally reach him at the top of the tree. This did not play out well for Aveline as he jumps to his demise. I feel like we're jumping around here, but back in New Orleans, we meet the stepmother once again, as a Templar leader, where she tries to convert Aveline to join them. And by no surprise, she actually joins. Aveline joins the Templars.
Of our order and all that for which we stand. I do.
And that's it. That's the game done. The credits are rolling. But no, wait, there's more. Remember those citizen-y things that we were talking about a while ago? Yeah, well, they're going to make a little bit more sense here. So I kill this guy, and then I get the achievement for completing the story finally. Let's go, an achievement. Complete the story. Fake ending. Huh? But now we move over to the same mission again, but a different ending is playing. Aveline doesn't join the Templars, and this mission, honestly, really difficult, as you were not to get hit again like a lot of the other ones, and they were just quite strong. But I beat their ass, and now watching Aveline take down her stepmother. After killing her stepmother, Aveline goes up to the pedestal and takes the medallion again, and we get a quick glimpse of Juno and the ancient civilization before the true credits roll. Is this the true ending? Confused of what's happened, but not mad about it. That was short and sweet. I think I probably completed the game in under 10 hours. Now I guess I've got some achievements to do. And that's right, there are more achievements to hunt down. The first one being the complete all mission constraints, which is 100% sync on every single story mission. But in doing this, I realised I missed an entire mission. This mission was all the way back in sequence 8 with Connor, but this time we play from Connor's perspective, which was honestly really cool and enjoyable to play. I think it's a really nice touch in the game to bring the two stories together, and I thought that was it for this achievement, but it was not. Now, I was unlucky with this achievement and it was bugged, and here's why. Right, so I've just looked up a little guide online for why this achievement might not be popping, and apparently if I replay this mission, it will pop. Hopefully, unless I am genuinely missing something, but the one I'm going for at the minute is... Yeah, so this mission, sequence 1, memory 6, was what I was doing while we fast forward through this mission, and then I complete it, and for some reason, this happens. It worked. That's so weird, that glitch worked. I wonder why it's that mission specifically, but let's go. Now let's move on to cleanup. First on the cleanup list was killing the rest of the Citizen-E guys, which was kind of easy. Just follow a guide, find out where they are, and then kill them. Oh, let's go. I just had to find one more. So that's the achievement for these Citizen-E little cutscene things. I didn't really have a plan for the rest of the cleanup in fairness, but I tackled the Bayou Fever missions as I was near them anyway, where you had to find these magic mushrooms and then give them to some sick people. But before you give them the mushrooms, they always try to box you up, but after laying them out, that's the first mission completed anyway. And then along the way completing these side missions, I stumbled upon this achievement which came out of nowhere. How have I not done 10 yet? Oh, literally. There you go. That's 10. And then, giving the last guy his magic mushrooms, I ticked off the Bayou Fever missions. Oh! I just got an achievement. What's that for? Complete every Bayou Fever mission. Sweet! Breaking things up so I didn't get bored, I went for some miscellaneous achievements and some collectibles. The first one ticking off was the dressing rooms. Oh, is that all of the dressing rooms? Nice. I'm just going for collectibles at the minute. That's a good one to tick off. Let's go. Then, travelling my way around most of the viewpoints, I ended up ticking them all off anyway. So, there was about 20 of them, so it went quite quickly. Ooh, let's go! Is that all the viewpoints? Let's go! Getting the collector achievement was a bit of a pain as I had to collect all of the diary pages which were scattered around the map, all of the alligator eggs from the bayou, which wasn't too bad because I think there was only 10 or 12. While doing the previous bayou fever missions earlier, I got all of the mushrooms in the bayou anyway, and then finally the Mayan statues from the Chichen Itza area. But I missed one of them that you can only get during a mission, and it took me ages to figure it out, and that's what you're about to see here. Here we go, here's the last Mayan statue. It should give me my achievement. There it is. I actually forgot this one in the mission, so I was spending ages looking. That's it, baby, let's go! This next one was at the Assassin's HQ, and I had to buy the max number of ships, which in this game was 8, which wasn't too many, so I just bought the cheapest ones, and that was another achievement in the bag. My last one. Yeah, let's go! Shipmaster. By the maximum number of ships. Easy does it. Let's go. Speaking of ships, I decided to do the ship crew missions that genuinely only took around 10 minutes to do them all. So that was a free achievement. Let's go. Those missions were so easy. It literally took me like 15 minutes. Nice. Hanging people in this time period felt a little bit insensitive, but it led to this. There we go. Oh my god. The next achievement I went for was the Secret Lives achievement that involved doing side missions for each specific persona. This first few here being the detective missions as the slave persona, where you had to find clues and figure out like a mystery sort of thing. It was pretty easy. The next were the assassination contract missions, as I'm sure you can guess these were with the assassin persona, and we just had to kill a bunch of people. And during these missions, because my notoriety was so high, I ended up getting this achievement. Let's go, pickpocket achievement, done. That was an easy one. Just get your notoriety up, go to the magistrates, give them money, steal that money. Easy. Finally, with the plot missions as the lady persona, and these were a little bit annoying because obviously you can't free run with the lady persona, but getting through these, I got the achievement finally. So all of them completed. Let's go. That was an easy achievement. Those missions were not bad at all, and you didn't need to full sync them. What a day. What a day. Since I was using the lady persona anyway, I took the opportunity to get some kills with the umbrella, giving us yet again another achievement. There we go. Jesus. That's what I was waiting for. Oh my. The next set of side missions were freeing the slaves across New Orleans and the Bayou. These were really quick and easy. I'm glad that in this game there are only a handful of side missions, unlike Assassin's Creed 3 where there were just too many. Let's go! Free the slaves! There's only 3 of those missions, there's going to be a lot more. In the background during all of these side missions, I was sending out convoys via the Assassin HQ to make me as much money as I could, as I knew this achievement was a long time coming, and oh boy, it was an expensive one. That was really underwhelming. Maybe when I come out? There we go. Oh my. I thought that was going to pop a lot sooner. The final set of side missions here were the business rivals, and these involve killing a few people around the map to make room for some new shops where you can purchase those shops and then get weapons and other bits like that. Luckily there was no achievement for buying those shops though. However, along the way I found a perfect opportunity to get the human shields achievement, which you are watching now. Since the enemies kept coming towards me, I rinsed and repeated this until the achievement popped. That was almost like a free achievement during this. All this in before completing all of the rest of the business rivals mission and getting us our penultimate achievement. Done. Let's go! A businesswoman. That literally took me 20 minutes. Let's go. I like that. One more achievement to go! The final achievement was the Persona Collector, where you had to gather collectibles that are related to the specific personas. The first one here being the Assassin Coin, which is obtained by killing a guy and then looting his dead body, and he gives you an Assassin Coin, which we get using the Assassin persona. The next one was robbing this guy as the slave persona, and we get a voodoo doll for it. And the final one here with the lady persona, stealing gemstones using the charm ability, and that's it. Assassin's Creed Liberations is done. I hope you enjoyed this journey. It was a short one, but here is the final achievement. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the final achievement. This is my platinum, the final collectible. Boom. Let's go. And that's it. That's platinum on Liberations. That was, you know what, that was a pretty good game. Let's have a little boot out, see how long it took. It wasn't bad. I thought it was going to be terrible. It genuinely wasn't a bad game. I like that it was short. The story moved quick. Even though the story wasn't that detailed or anything. It was a solid 6 out of 10. There you go. 12 hours, 42 minutes. And that is it. Finished. Let's go, boys. See what game we play next.